So double stop and
Yeah,
take
but
first place today.
It's not like it's a huge deal.
No,
I'm not ready.
huh? Okay.
This is not the practice ROM.
I think we have a little thing here.
Well, he'll have he'll have.
It appears we are currently listening to jafem.
That was the practice ROM.
Who
also
apparently had a practice ROM. Alright, looks like we have a bit of a sound switch here. Sorry for that, guys. We always check ahead of time, but guess we had a little miscommunication there. So yeah, we will be finishing up this final group today, and then we'll be going on to brackets. So you can expect all of your favorites passing on out of brackets soon, or perhaps sadly not passing on out of brackets if you like rooting for underdogs. Also, I'd like to wish everyone a happy new year. I hope it's been a good first 2 days for all of you, or 1.5 days, or more, whatever you live, wherever you live. Hope it's been fun. So we do see now on the screen here that jafem is a little bit behind on ShadowZero, since he was still messing around with the wrong ROM, and probably only realized it a little late when he tried to restart the ROM and then saw, oh crap, I have the wrong thing going. But yeah, no big deal. All I heard was, no, I'm not ready. Oh. So, ShadowZero already at the ship. jafem still has a lot of HP, so he still needs to get rid of a bit of that. Either that, or he will just have to take a punch to the face from Vile. ShadowZero... Was that a third car? I think it was a third car, but I'm a little bit behind on looking in on things, since I kind of got called in last minute, so I'm a little bit off right now. The problem is I will fix that soon. Oh, look at that Vile on your right. Dashing right to ShadowZero, really wants to grab him and get going. Oh, jafem gets a little hop back. And there we go. It's a little bit awkward because we can't really go on off the timers this round, as jafem and ShadowZero's timers are off due to that little mishap we had there. Oh well, no big deal. We will still see where they are going, and if we compare the routes a little bit, and as soon as we get to like Sigma stage and everything, it's gonna be pretty easy to see where we're at. Or we can just count the Mavericks and stuff. On going to Penguin. Oh, ShadowZero takes a little bonk there from the Lumberjack. Dude really loves his profession, chopping that mechanical tree down. Does not want to quit. So he's not very happy about these people passing by, keeping him from his job. And with that, we'll be passing on to the cave of many secrets. You could say, but honestly, the one thing you're looking for in here, the dash boots, is not all that secret, as the capsule is pretty giant and right in your way. And we see ShadowZero opting to take a little bit of a, well, not really a detour, but a little bit of workaround, and opting out of the slope jumps. And with that, actually, we see both players at the capsule. So it seems that even with jafem's mishap, that he's a little bit catching up. And there we go. With the dash boots. I suppose I could actually, even though, yeah, with their separate timers, I could still compare their times to where they get to certain places, like Penguin Door and everything. Oh. Snowballer section, always pretty fun one to watch. How people get through this. There's lots of little obstacles in here to dodge. It's not that easy to do it optimal, but you don't actually lose all that much straight away. Oh, well, look, we have about the same going into the Penguin fight, so looks like jafem has called out, and Penguin will have to decide who gets out of here first. I know it's been a little while. I suppose most of you do remember how most of the game goes, but in case you need a little reminder, Penguin is a boss with extremely heavy RNG, and mostly there's not much you can do here except for reacting to the Penguin's patterns. So basically you're gonna watch what he's doing and then respond to it as best as you can and pick the optimal reply. Oh, ShadowZero, a bit of an issue there at the end, and jafem actually gets the kill first and gets a fade out. Gosh dang it. A fair head start. Well, there is a good chance. Well, we do often see in these tournaments that there is some disparity between runners, especially in the group stages. A lot of the runs will be competitive, but there may always be one or two that's a little bit less competitive, but you know. We've also always said in this specific tournament that anything can happen. Honestly, this is X1 any %. A lot of you may have seen the Hundo tournament in which you saw, oh look, everyone has a bunch of safeties. There's the Hadoken, the armor, the sub tanks, this anything you can think of really, you have it. And as soon as you see players go beyond a certain point, chances of dropping the run are so extremely low. But here in any %, that's not a thing at all. As soon as you go anywhere, ShadowZero, be careful. I don't like to see him do that. Okay, he appears to be fine. Oh my god, no! He got out of position by accident and then wanted to re-enter the glitch and accidentally suicided on those spikes. I was actually afraid he was gonna do that when I saw him move around there. And meanwhile, jafem kind of messing around with Iceless. Might be aware of his lead right now if he's watching the stream. Oh, that is such a huge setback. The checkpoint in Kuwanger is right at the top of the elevator, and since he was halfway on that, he needs to do all of the stage over again. Plus that auto-scroller of an elevator. So this is probably... I think he loses like a minute here. I'm not really sure of the exact time you take for the stage here, but up to this point, but let's say it's very likely a minute. As you can see what he's doing here by just jumping on the right. If you wall kick into those spikes, then you don't take damage. So this is just a glitch, right? But if you just move into the spikes normally or dash into them, you're gonna take, I believe, like 8 damage or something stupid like that. So if you actually are a bit careless or get out of position, you can get killed. Normally, when you wall kick in there, you can also do a wall kick while facing away from the wall. That will place you in a position where you can just AFK the ride. So that's what he did at first, but then he decided to do a couple extra wall kicks. Oh, little mishap there in his jump. And that's, yeah, what happened. He got out of that position, and then instead of doing another wall kick, just got too close and face walked into the spikes. So meanwhile, that means jafem has a pretty healthy lead. He took a good kill on Kuwanger and is now already in the chameleon stage. And he will be opting to get smashed into the wall by RT55J, also nicknamed by the community as Green Biker Dad, in case everyone likes nicknames that are easier to remember than the actual names. This will give him a capsule with the body armor. And meanwhile, ShadowZero is dealing with Kuwanger. Kuwanger, pretty difficult fight if you're not... Oh, calm down, my boy. Calm down. Okay. Kuwanger is down. ShadowZero scared me a little bit there. As soon as Kuwanger goes into his teleporting phase at the end, unless he somehow got thrown off from his standard coding, he will teleport around and never get enter your hitbox. So you can just stand in the middle and aim your shots. No route divergence here. The only difference we can see is perhaps that ShadowZero does not take the armor, but considering what happened so far, I think he will be going for it. And we see there's an entire stage of difference, between the two of these guys. jafem already at the fight, but ShadowZero only halfway at RT55J. Not really the worst boss to have halfway a stage, but he can be kind of annoying. And on the left, we see I always mess Kuwanger and Chameleon up in terms of names. So Chameleon going down on jafem, who gets another fade out during the fanfare. So what a fade out is actually if you press start on the exact frame that X will start walking towards the center of the screen after killing the boss, then the screen will go black, and because it doesn't have to fade to black anymore later at the teleport, you save 20 frames. So if you get that 3 times, you save an entire second of time, which probably doesn't mean that much unless you're really in a position where any second counts because you're going for a sweet world record or something. Before you get too hype, I do not think either of these runners are on a pace for a world record, but you know, perhaps something more local, a country record or something like that. So you can count for that too. Seconds always count. And also a part of that fade out glitch is that during the next stage you will have soft music. So if you were to listen to jafem right now, some of you might be telling me, hey, where did the audio go? Because, well, the fade out makes the music go soft, so you don't hear anything anymore for a while. And on your left we'll be seeing Eagle pop up, and on your right we see Chameleon versus ShadowZero. Chameleon, easily one of the most simple bosses. Give the controller to your 2-year-old child and he would probably beat his boss. You will normally never see anyone have issues with this. There can be small mishaps going on with Chameleon, but very, very rarely seen. And I do believe that we saw a pretty clean eagle there from jafem. I believe there was a diveless. It was a little bit more focused on Chameleon there. And with that boat, we'll be moving on to the next stage. Eagle for ShadowZero, and jafem goes to Mammoth. Now the first Mavericks in X1 during in an any percent route are pretty much always the same for anyone. You will go get the dash boots, followed by Kuwanger, because you want to deal with that. He's fairly easy to do, buster only. You get an extra weapon and whatnot. Speaking of that, actually, a lot of bosses, when you hit them with a green shot, actually only still take 1 damage, as if you were just doing a normal lemon, normal shot. However, I believe it's Penguin and Kuwanger actually take 2 damage from the green shot, which is not a thing for all bosses. Commentator, is this any percent? Yes, this is any percent. It's also any death percent, because we see ShadowZero going down, quite literally, on the bottom of the screen. And he will, unfortunately, take another death right in front of a checkpoint. It's quite a major setback. Ugh. Not gonna lie, that's not looking very good right now for Shadow. On your left side though, jafem has been having a pretty good race so far for himself. No major mishaps, got a couple fade outs. Ooh, ShadowZero. He has a little bit of a special weapon choice here, picking up Ice rather than Sea Sting during this section, I must say. But as I said earlier, he's also a little bit late on his matches, so I assume he's a busy man. Perhaps he's a little bit less practiced than jafem, but I'm not really sure. Jafem, meanwhile, already onto Mandrill, has a serious lead by now. Well, Eagle still has to be done by ShadowZero, and jafem already took down the entire Mammoth stage and is on his way to the mid-boss in Mandrill. Oh, and there we have Shadow in the chat, complaining about this controller. Classic. Classic. Excuse me. On your left, jafem gets a really nice Thunder Slimer. This is the worst mid-boss you can really get. His RNG can really cost you a lot of time, but if you get nice RNG, it also becomes a really quick kill. But you really want it to drop down. ShadowZero gets the Eagle kill, ready to move on. jafem picking up a little safety there. Picks up the Heart and Mandrill. How is that related to this tournament or this match? Oh no. Darn. I'll think about it. I'll think about that question during the next stages because I have no clue. Anyway, ShadowZero also opts for Mammoth 5th. Mammoth can be fit anywhere into your 8 mavs after the first 4 are done. So honestly, it's a matter of preference. People say that it's optimal to have Mammoth as your 6th after Mandrill, because you save the whole whoop in 20 frames or something on your stage select, I don't know. But it's really whatever you want. jafem, meanwhile, has taken down Mandrill and is about a stage and a half ahead of ShadowZero. And Armadillo coming up next for jafem. Oh, think. I actually wonder what everyone's favorite sound is when you're checking out this game. I personally really like the shield guys in Armadillo. When you shoot a lemon and it goes think, think, think. It's pretty fun. I like that a lot. So Mammoth going down on ShadowZero's side with the trunk getting cut off. But look on your left what jafem is doing. Killing that mole boar with Fire Wave. Trunkle's percent is pretty gosh dang hype. Just have to point that out once more because I do want to explain something about Fire Wave, but how often do you see a Mammoth without a trunk? God damn it. Yeah, what I want to say about the Fire Wave, though, Fire Wave is a really mysterious weapon in X1. It's very popular by most people, it's a pretty hype weapon, but its damage output is something that is not quite understood by most people. Not even testers. The damage seems a little bit random sometimes. I know I mentioned it once before, but when you actually attack something with a Fire Wave, it seems to deal just an okay amount of damage, but if you hit something with just a tip, like if you were to attack that mole boar with a full Fire Wave, ShadowZero, get going, my boy. Don't stand there. With a full Fire Wave, then it would take you a little while to go and kill him. But if you hit him with just a tip, he's gonna explode 3 times as fast. Also, ShadowZero with sub-tank grab a Mandrill. It's a little bit out of the way. I mean, if he feels comfortable taking that, he should. And on your left, jafem gets the kill on Armadillo. ShadowZero with the Buster strats, mashing lemons into every mechanical animal he sees. And does he get a decent Thunder Slimer? Thunder Slimer gives him bad RNG. Oh, stays on top of the wall. Oh, nice. He pause buffers to get his boomerang out of the way instead of waiting for it to go off the screen, and then kills him like that. Well, that's pretty nicely done, I have to admit. On your left. Meanwhile, jafem is on his 8th Maverick, so he's having a pretty good run for himself. Just needs to deal with Octopus at the end of this, and then he is on his way to the Sigma stages. Oh, some really nice jumps there by ShadowZero. Getting those jumps above the turtles on that bottom section is actually really difficult to do, to get them nicely. It's pretty precise jumps. It's not as precise as something like an Iceless, but it's still pretty dang hard. And here we see jafem in an amazing fight with the Udaboros. Gosh, wasn't it the most epic fight you've ever seen? It was almost worthy of Dark Souls 4. And on your right, we see ShadowZero dealing with Mandrill. On the left, we have Octopus making his first appearance for today's matches. Ooh. jafem taking quite a bit of damage, but I think he'll be fine. Mandrill was an easy one for ShadowZero, and jafem with a 21:35 8 math time. Was pretty good. The timers are unsynced because at the start of the stream we had jafem's audio still up with voice. That was a little bit of an accident, but basically what you heard was this: oh no, oh no, oh no, I'm not ready, that's the wrong ROM, oh no, oh crap, and then you reset his timer, loaded the right ROM, and then started 17 seconds too late. So that happened. Fortunately for ShadowZero, while he had a nice lead to start the race with, he had a bit of an accident in Coanger stage and an Eagle stage, so jafem kind of caught up and quite passed him by. Meanwhile, we do see that jafem has gone to the Sigma Fortress, where the true run begins, as this is where all of the difficult stuff is at, and where any percent runners are made or broken. Ooh, jafem takes a lot of damage there. Should not be an issue though. You need to be low, but 2 HP is a little bit really low. And oh god, ShadowZero, what are you doing? Gets bopped in the butt by a mole borer and takes another death. Luckily, this one is... he's learned from his mistakes. Rather than dying right before the checkpoint, this time he died right after the checkpoint, so it wasn't too bad. And on your left, you see jafem trying to file skip. Did not get the quick skip, but he does get the skip. No soft locking today, at least not for jafem. And meanwhile, we do see ShadowZero picking up some extra HP on the ledge there, where the Hadoken capsule would be if you did more visits and played the beginners category. Don't kill me, Walrus. Without both having face off against another boss. Now we see their file going down pretty quickly. File has almost no iframes, and ShadowZero gets like 5 million rolls from Dillo. Thanks a lot, you butt. Dillo not very known for his RNG, but when he does have one of his days, he really has one of his days. And yeah, as I wanted to say, Vile has almost no iframes, so basically as soon as that fight starts, you can just whale damage right into him, like, so fast. It's sick. ShadowZero with that gets did he already do Mam? I think he did Mam. Yeah, we saw Trail was that. So ShadowZero is going on to his final 8 Maverick now, and will then also be making his way to the Sigma stages. And here we see Kuwanger. He is the first refight of 8 refights. Meanwhile, ShadowZero is still angry at his controller. And Kuwanger goes down. And meanwhile, ShadowZero is going for a little swim to fishies. Hopefully he doesn't take that too literally. Kills a sub tank, refills a sea sting. We should be fine on ammo with that. And now on your left, we're gonna see how jafem is at the bow spider fight, and if he gets a lot of babies and whatnot. Also, something I noticed earlier with jafem is that during the Vile fight, he tanked a lot of damage. Now, Vile is one of those bosses that deals a ton of damage on the body bonk, so like 8 damage. And that's really dangerous. However, jafem does have the body armor, so he doesn't really need to be worried about that. And at the start of Bow Spider, he took a couple bonks, but it's not too bad. Oh, this is a sled here. jafem seems a little bit nervous on this fight. Oh, takes a third bonk. Needs to be careful, but I guess he has sub tank, so he should be fine. He's just not allowed to miss too many of his attacks because he would run out of ammo, which is kind of annoying if it happens. jafem seems really uncertain about himself. Oh, in this fight. Okay, he will sub tank to be safe. So he's gonna be fine, but you know, he would probably rather keep that sub tank for Sigma. Oh gosh, jafem is really getting wrecked by Bow Spider. What crap is this? And on your right, ShadowZero kills Octopus, so I do assume that ShadowZero will be making up quite a lot of time because Bow Spider is really... Oh! Get trolled by the extra baby throw, wow! Oh, jafem, please be careful. If he makes a mistake now, he's trying to pause buffer so he doesn't get hit again. Oh my god, if he died here, it would have been pretty dang bad. Oh. So, I'm pretty sure that right there, ShadowZero caught up a lot of time. Like, oh, jeez. Not gonna lie, jafem had me quite nervous there. He does not seem to be very used to reading those patterns. And ShadowZero, meanwhile, before he starts taking damage to go down to Vile, decides to pick up a little bit of extra HP to fill his sub tanks for later. And takes his time on the platforms, I suppose, since he has been active in chat that he is watching the stream. Knows he's a bit behind, so makes the wise choice of simply not falling more behind. Gosh dang, that turret shot was scary. Oh, I was so scared he was gonna drop down there. Whew. And on your left, meanwhile, we see Slide McGee doing slides, which is how he got his name. And another one. Gives jafem a little headbutt before he goes. And ShadowZero going to do the Vile skip. And jafem goes hype. jafem goes. Aww. I thought he was gonna go hype with max strats, but instead he opts to read. Oh, get punched in the face, right in the kisser. jafem, what are you doing, my boy? This is not the strat, but it is pretty dang funny. He's getting trolled by the mech guy who just got into a new mech. It's like, you're not getting out of here. And on your right, we see ShadowZero on his merry way, watching. You know, there's one reason why you just don't want to mess up this skip. It's because you get to see Zero die at the end of it. Oh my, that's just too hype. And oh, jafem is actually pretty low now, and he already used a sub tank on Bow Spider, so this is really awkward to see him in this position. He seems to be quite thrown off after this after that Bow Spider fight. And on your right, we see ShadowZero dealing with Vile. There's quite a lot of HP left, so... This is why we say that in any percent anything can happen, really, because... You see, people get to the 8 maps and everything's okay, but once people get to the Sigma stages, that's where the real, stuff starts. And where things go wrong or go right, or go bonkers, or eagle flies, penguin dives, you fall in a pit, I don't know. You imagine something that could go wrong, it can probably happen in these stages. And on your right, ShadowZero climbing up to Kowanger. Decides that the floor is lava, and oh, that lucky drops, giving him full HP to work with. Dang. And on your left, ooh, jafem has low ammo and not much HP, needs to... Okay, I am 100% sure that was intentional. He wanted to to fill his HP. I am 100% sure. I don't even have to ask him after the race. That is intentional, I'm telling you. He did not want to go and waste his ammo and then make a mistake and be dead. So that was actually a very wise decision from jafem. He also has 3 hits down on the nose. So, nice. Get some decent RNG here on Rangda. Meanwhile, we see ShadowZero picking up some more HP as he goes to Bow Spider. Just full HP, full ammo. Let's hope he has a bit of a better fight than jafem did, so we can see him catch up a bit more. So we really have this race going. Oh boy. What a start to this fight. Oh, and ShadowZero opts to not use sleds and instead goes with normal eye shots. I suppose that is just fine. And jafem misses the dildo skip! What is this? jafem, please stop tilting. Oh boy. On your right though, ShadowZero having a pretty good time with that spider. Saying, hey, you bullied my speed buddy on the left screen. I don't like that. Taking revenge. And this is actually 100% why ShadowZero does no sleds. Because he's using the buster to kill the baby spiders that they pop up. Except for the last one, so... That's what happened when you commentator curse someone. Meanwhile, we see jafem with a charged sled. Ice boomerang? Okay, boomerang. Right, that makes more sense. Now, unless he does 2 charged boomerangs, I do not believe that we're actually saving a hit here. So it was a little bit useless, but oh well. So, ShadowZero with a good fight there on Bow Spider. Yeah. We'll be catching up a little bit, but he's still a long way behind. Still needs to do the entirety of Sigma 2. And given the amount of times that he's died, I'm not really sure how many lives he has. And I hope he was at 0, so he gets a game over screen now. And he doesn't. So honestly, at this point, I would almost consider just jumping into that pit again, so he has new stock of lives, just in case anything goes wrong, like, having your controller mess up and falling into the ranged out pit or some stupid stuff like that. Mandrill going down for jafem. He's on his way to final sig here, or halfway to Sigma 3. Opting for some tornado strats there, and sliding butt over there on your right, having some playtime with ShadowZero, but not too many slides, goes down pretty fast. So, let's see, jafem versus Octopus. Oh. That fight can get pretty laggy if Octopus does a repeated amount of those. Oh. ShadowZero's like, I do have invulnerability active right now, but that's not enough. I also need to get in the mech, so I'm even more invulnerable. When you're in the mech, anything that touches you damages the mech and not your hit points, so it's like being double invulnerable. And jafem with some really high physics there as he tries to charge the fire wave underwater. Not very efficient, but at least it got him a charge for that sea sting afterwards. On your right, Eagle. What does Eagle do? Dive. Oh, of course. What else would the birds do other than... Oh, I said nothing. Oh! Alright, that was only like 3 dives or something, so yeah, it's okay. Is today the last day for group matches? Yes, actually group stage was supposed to end on the 30th, but the reason that we still have group stages today is because ShadowZero is a busy IRL person, and he did not manage to schedule his matches before today. So he actually requested if it was possible to do his matches slightly later than originally planned by the tournament creators, and they said it was alright. So he is doing his matches today, and as soon as his 2 matches today with jafem and 2-stop are over, he will they will probably be making the brackets. ShadowZero dealing with Rangda, and on your left you saw jafem take down T-Rex. Ugh, green eyes. Not really what you want. Oh, ShadowZero missing that nose a couple times. And jafem will be farming up a little bit. It wants to have some full sub tanks and whatnot before going into final Sigma. That means ShadowZero can catch up a little bit. ShadowZero has already been refilling his sub tanks. Kind of during his playtime, so once he gets there, he will not have to refill anything, unless he, of course, has to use what he already has. The AGDQ starts next Sunday. Let me just see if I missed anything here in the chat, because I don't know. Was with a weird name, but I see JP's got my back as I have not really been looking at chat for a little while, as I've been paying most attention to the 2 runners. Seems you guys are just fine. Oh, ShadowZero misses the skip, so he locks his camera up and that creates a pit there on your left, so no big deal. It's better than actually going into the Dillo fight. Don't worry, this man knows what he's doing. You might think, oh gosh, what's wrong with this guy? Oh, wait, what? Ah, he does it like that. Okay. That's perfectly fine. There's multiple ways of doing the skip, so no problem. No problem. And on your left, we see jafem does a pause cancel on his rolling shield to grab the ice, and ShadowZero was, well, wanted to take a little break before Chameleon, but the opponents did not quite agree with it. jafem, meanwhile, is actually taking quite a lot of damage on Valgarder. That actually almost puts him ready to use a sub tank. Not really what you want to see, but I'm not Santa Claus. The only thing I get you is, well, I don't know. I'll only get you stuff if you're on the naughty list. And put you in a bag or something, I don't know. Wait, that's not Santa Claus. Ah, whatever. Yes, AGDQ hype. If you actually really like X1, there will also be a race of X1 any percent at AGDQ. The runners will be Colonel Fatso, Tokyo 90, and Walrus Prime. On your left, we see Jedi Sigma exploding. ShadowZero kills Mandrill. And jafem, what will it be? What will it be? Good claws, back claws, lightning in the butt. Are you gonna die? Are you gonna live? Ooh, claw does not allow him up there. But not too bad so far. Right claw is not interfering. That is usually a big point of why runners die in this fight. That right claw blocking them in at that corner with lightnings getting popped right under you is a one of the most deadly things, but he does finish up this race with a 39.41, which will probably on the official race about time be more like a 40-ish time, since he did have to restart his timer and was a little bit off from the actual time. Reeves, I do not believe Reeves goes to HEDQ, no. But I could be wrong. You should ask the man himself. Randomizers, I do not know, but there is in fact a schedule for HEDQ. Perhaps one of your fellow viewers would be so kind to share that. And on your right we see ShadowZero continuing on his way to Sigma 3. Goes through the laggy hallway. This hallway specifically before Mammoth is really laggy if you aren't careful on your movement. It's mostly the dust sprites when you dash with X will put down a lot of lag. So ideally you want to do a dash jump movement throughout the section, so you like dash and instantly jump, leaving no dash sprites. No dust sprites, and then therefore not getting a whole bunch of lag. Yeah, I think it's a 39.58 for jafem officially, but I'd really have to be in the SRL chat to confirm. Now we see ShadowZero versus DRX. Who will take the cake? Ooh. Ooh. ShadowZero with the strats, with the dodges. However, dodging alone is not enough. You also need to hit DRX if you want to win. Come on, it's free! Yes! DRX is down. Well, I would sit in the SRL chat if I were not so late, as I was called up for commentary. Sorry, Fee. And with that, we will be seeing ShadowZero move into the final stage, where he takes on 3 bosses all at the same time. Checks his reserves there, and we'll also go on a little farming spree. Welcome to Farming Simulator 2018, introducing MMX and ShadowZero in the new update. We were going to use Zero for the new farming strats, but he was kind of nerfed, so just kidding. Oh, I see we have a lot of our runners here in the chat, actually. So, ShadowZero has been doing his farming and will now be moving on his merry way to go and get in a conflict with Pita as he kills Sigma's pet, who is not quite as defenseless as your casual dog, since this one does kind of spit fire and electric sparks your way, so... Oh. He dodges, he dodges. Oh. Misses a little dash there. Dashes are quite important in this fight. You need some quick movement dealing with the dog. Ooh. There we go. Quite similar fight to jafem's. Jafem also had a little bit of issues with the dog there, but you know, it's not too bad. Is it Sigma's pet or is Sigma the pet? Good point. The dog owners here for sure. Watch out! Use a sub tank, please. Oh, darn! Only half sub tank. Well, that's enough. You don't need more. Cheer this guy on, chat. Come on, he needs the power. Give him that spirit bomb. What the? Oh boy. These strats are kind of risky. Oh, gosh. I know that hitting Sigma on the wall is not always as easy as you think it is, but whew. I should not go on saying weird things because you guys in chat. What the hell? Right. So here, claws. Oh boy, claw not being nice. Oh, lightning, even worse. Ugh. Yeah, I would sub tank. No. Shadow, sub tank now. Sub tank. Yes, please. Okay, thank you. Good. Now, get up there. Get up there. You have a chance. Alright, good. I believe in you. You can do this. Right clock and stay away a bit. That would be great. And it does. Alright, half HP on Sigma. It's a missed chop, that's right. Good. Claw. Ow. Okay. ShadowZero actually doing a really good fight here. It's a little bit clumsy, but, you know, he's actually doing really well. There we go. 45-32 is his final time for this race. Actually, a really good job there. I'm impressed with this final fight, where he did not take a single hit, despite the fact that... Okay, except for that first one. Despite the fact that he got a little bit of a trolley start there. Now, I would like to tell all of you that you should not go anywhere except to get a drink or some popcorn or to go to the bathroom, but you have to be back here in just like 5 minutes because, you know, this is a best of 3 set, so jafem and ShadowZero will be taking another game at each other. Hopefully ShadowZero has a little bit of a controller issue in game 2. And does not drop in a couple pits or walk into spikes or something. Ah, look, there he goes. At least it was a warm-up, so here we go. Now he's gonna just put jafem in the dumpster on game 2. Calling it right now. As we all know, commentator curses exist, and I said he's probably gonna drop in an extra pit this time around. So... I would say everyone go for a quick look if you need anything. Speed comp curse. Well, it's true, it exists. But, you know, the runners should not be too worried. At least I'm not Colonel Fatso. He's 10 times better at cursing people than I am, even if he does not intend to. Also, while we're in the middle of this, anyone that came in late, Happy New Year. And while we're also here, if you want information on the MMX tournament, we are moving to brackets pretty soon. These are the last 2 group stages. Don't bother. Oh, best advice I've seen all day. If you need advice on getting a boyfriend, it's the exact same advice. So on those links you can find our challenge, where you can see all the standings of the tournament. There is a schedule where you can see when matches will be played as runners schedule their games versus each others, and there will be VODs. So oh, apparently we also have the schedule there. Oh, great. And the schedule for speed game along with it, of course. Thank you very much. Also, please follow the runners, jafem and ShadowZero, and later on it will be 2stop and ShadowZero. And well, if you really want, I guess I'm in here too, but that's not important. Pressing that button would be the biggest mistake you made all day. Alright. So I see ShadowZero is still on credits, so I should probably get to that SRL chat, take a little look what our runners are up to, and if they are having a little break, but I guess so. I mean, after all, perhaps it's not the longest speedrun that we have in MMX, but still, if you have to do like a 40-50 minute run, having a little break after race number 1 is not all that bad. I don't. What? Oh. My gosh, life split. Okay. I will just be muting myself for one moment as I do doing something myself. Preferably without ruining everyone's headphones. Oh, and apparently we were having a little break, but because ShadowZero was AFK, but he just returned, so we'll be going pretty soon, I suppose. Alright, so I see that our runners are starting to ready up. So as soon as they get the go sign, they will be going off. Speaking of the go sign is usually given by our lovely restreamers, which is the SRL crew or Speed Gaming crew. Speed Gaming crew, yeah, not SRL crew, which is today Fiesel. So thank you very much, Fiesel, for the restream, and all of your buddies for always being there to assist our tournament. We would not be here without you, nor would anyone in the chat. And we should be going off in a second. I do see runners have themselves in a position to get going, and oh, holy crap, we have a synchronized start without any panicking for the wrong ROM. Good job, jafem. That's already a better start than race number 1. That man's gotta be proud. This is gonna be a real race this time. And there we see them going, mashing through every little thing they see. Oh, ShadowZero has to take a little stop so he doesn't bong the last little big blue guy. Alright, we see good BRNG on both ends. 2 machine guns. And jafem gets a second machine gun. Free. And ShadowZero gets a missile, so that's also good. Oh! ShadowZero, please, do not take extra bonks like that. Jesus. I hope that was intentional, because stuff like that really scares me. jafem, what? What are these guys doing? jafem almost bonked you a pit right there on a small B. These are all kind of uncommon things, but you know, even in the intro, things can go wrong, so... Alright. Alright. Okay, we're fine. We're fine. jafem takes another damage boost on that one car. ShadowZero kills that last car. Run to the ship. We're gonna be fine. We'll be just fine. Everyone calm down. Yes, this is a best of 3. Right now, jafem is in the lead when a 1-0, but you know, it doesn't mean anything. You can always see things flip around. And ShadowZero takes a little bit of extra time on that second car, causing him to get a third car, but you know, rather get the third car than die, so better to play a little bit safe. You get a 203 grab for jafem. Much pretty respectable time. And a 214 grab for Shadow. So we're about 10 seconds apart between the two, but that's alright. You never know. Perhaps jafem will just get killed by Bow Spider this time. Ah! So, jafem did take round 1. And yes, boat runners need some good luck. And there we go, on to Penguin. Actually, as early as this, you could already make a pretty big mistake. Well, outside of dying in the intro, of course. You could also, there's a moment where you can already start your stage select before all of the black fades away on the stage select. So runners usually start fairly early on that stage select, but if you actually start too early and your directional input gets eaten, you might just select the Octo stage instead of Penguin, which obviously kind of sucks. I don't know if you've ever tried Octopus first, but it's quite a pain in the behind. It's not impossible, but it's not so great. But you know, of course, runners can reset their console or emulator at that point, and they would just go back to the password screen and go back so they can select Penguin. However, if you ever want a fun challenge for yourself, please do try Octopus first and ShadowZero! Get up there! Okay, thank you. So, jafem has gotten to his dash boots. Will now be speeding on his way, dashing through the snow as you will. Too bad he's not a reindeer, or carries any presents. Why are you not a peasant, jafem? he'll never be a good elf. Anyway, so jafem, sorry, ShadowZero now also with the dash boots will be attempting the same thing. And jafem going to the snowballers, takes a couple snowballs to the face, but you know, that's one of the things that can be fun to get in your face sometimes. Oh, ShadowZero making an early drop there. Out of the mag. ShadowZero, what's going on? Oh boy. Having a little bit of trouble there. Meanwhile, jafem has already started on the penguin fight. Took a little bonk there from penguin, but nothing too bad. Oh. Just one more hit. 501 kill on penguin. That's a pretty good kill time. You can be glad with that. And as we see jafem leaving this fight, we see that ShadowZero has just entered. ShadowZero, ooh, taking a little bonk there on penguin. Penguin actually does a ton of damage for. Oh, as I said that. He actually takes another body bonk from penguin, which does like, I believe it's 5 or 6, I think it's 5 damage, which is quite a lot considering you have 14 HP at this stage of the game. So, oh boy. Not a great start for ShadowZero, and that means that jafem will again have a pretty significant lead to start off with. Although we do have to say that last round that when we got the Sigma stages, we did see jafem struggle a little bit with a couple of the bosses, so it must feel comfortable for him to have that lead, just in case he runs into some trouble again. The 6? Okay. Oh. You saw there that ShadowZero had a charge shot ready, and when he bonked penguin, the charge disappeared. That actually means that he tried to let go of his charge shot at the same time as he got bonked. If you try to unleash a shot, charge shot, while you take a bonk, then your shot will not go off, the charge will disappear, and you will take your damage. So that's pretty bad. If you're ever playing this game and you would like to, if you see that you're gonna take damage, just hold on to your shot. Don't risk losing it, because then you waste even more time. And with that, we see both players on the same stage again. jafem about half HP going to Goanger. Should not be an issue if he gets to dance though. Goanger, if you get him to dance with you, is not all that difficult. Oh. Ooh, but, of course, if Goanger... Ooh, jafem. Oof. Goanger wants him. Oh. Ooh. ShadowZero! What? What does he do this time? He died on the elevator again. It's an auto-scroller. You're not supposed to die on an auto-scroller. And that's again right in front of the checkpoint. That's such a painful death to take. Oh my gosh. I can't believe that just happened twice in 2 races. This man must be a I don't know, a master of tragic accidents. We shall give him this as a nickname. Opts to kill some turtles here as he took a lot of damage. Now is it 1 HP? Gosh. If he makes a mistake here on getting the glitch, he's toast. Okay, he's in it. Please. Please. On your left, you see jafem killing RT55J. Thanks, V, for telling us what the guy's name is. Okay, stop moving now. You're safe. Do not keep jumping into those spikes. You don't know. Okay, fine, you got past the checkpoint. I don't even know. So jafem picks up his armor for some extra safety. I don't even know. I'm a little bit speechless of what's going on ShadowZero's side here. Oh my god, no! I look at the chat, I look back, and he dies to a turret because he only had 1 HP. Oh my dog, someone gift this man a new controller. Let's just all blame his controller. We cannot believe that one of our runners would have that happening with a good controller. I refuse. He can't. He's too good for that. It's all his control. Meanwhile, we see jafem on the freestyle section of the game, the Swamping Chameleon. Swamping Chameleon, you can do whatever you want. Honestly, just dodge the enemies or kill them. Anything really. There's a lot of ways you can get through. You can use weapons as you want. Yeah. How? How? Come on, ShadowZero, get up there. Yeah, that's right. Dodge that bullet and get in that door. And now smash Gwanger in the face. Alright, jafem on your left goes for Chameleon. Well, not much to be said about that fight, I suppose. So, ShadowZero, show us what you got. Show us what you got with that Gwanger. Show him that this guy is easier than the stupid stage. He's juking ShadowZero around, left and right. You can tell here that the green shots are dealing 2 damage to Gwanger. He's one of the 2 bosses that actually take 2 damage from a green shot. Also, ShadowZero, you can't just stand in the middle now. Alright, good. He gets Gwanger down. Well, I don't know. I wouldn't be relaxed if I was jafem, because I would just be sitting there thinking, gosh, what if I mess up so bad that I still lose this one? Well, to confirm that thought, when I played my own races in this tournament, I actually won 2 races with a time that wasn't even sub 40 in this, and even though this is a really deadly category, I was not happy with that. So, you know, those are races that you win, but that you're not proud of. And because you know that so many things can go wrong on Final Sigma, or just like, you know, dropping in random pits at the leap of fate, or I don't know where. So many things can go wrong at the end game that, honestly, it's kind of nerve-wracking, because you think, oh gosh, every mistake now would make me look kind of stupid. Of course, jafem could also blame his controller, so... But I do have to say that ShadowZero from now on is probably going to be my favorite runner for the rest of my life. I do kind of announce myself as the death caster, because the times I get most hype personally is when someone dies in these runs. Oh gosh, please do not die. So for me, it's pretty fun to watch this. I like to see people die in new and original ways, like finding new pits. Oh gosh, ShadowZero, please do not die to that one. But I have to say at the same time, I feel a little bit sorry for the guy, because, you know. Oh yeah, you know, as a Berlin dude says, this is the anything can go wrong tournament. I mean, we've seen it from a lot of people, and oh gosh, you only have 1 HP, be careful. And I'm not even sure where the checkpoint is in this stage. Oh. Meanwhile, jafem is on his way to Mammoth, dashing through that factory. ShadowZero opts to take that one up, as he thinks he might need it. I can't blame him at this point. He's taking it super careful, kind of farming around for some HP. He's like, I don't want to die, and then he goes to full HP. All right, he can go back on his way now onto Chameleon, you know. All right, and meanwhile, jafem arrives at Mammoth. So I think this is what, a 2 Maverick difference between the 2 of them, because ShadowZero still has to do Eagle after this and then go on to the Mammoth stage. So jafem is in a huge lead right now. Silvering, I'm not entirely sure because I have to say I've been watching speedruns of this game for a long time. I even watched some casual gameplay sometimes, but I can legit not remember that I've ever seen anyone die past the halfway point in Chameleon, so I'm not really sure where the checkpoint even is. I know if you die before the cave that you will be respawning at the start of the stage, but that's about it. ShadowZero, you can all go to the Sigma stages. Yeah, okay. 1 too many left inputs. Buddy goes to Eagle now. And jafem goes to Mandrill. Alright, so factories destroyed. This is actually the cause of the Eagle stage being already beaten. Otherwise, there would be lights up all the time and there would be some extra sparks and stuff flying around. But now we have to play this in the dark. So stages do affect each other if you play them in a specific way. Oh, ShadowZero. ShadowZero. For a second I thought I was gonna go for a phantom grab there, but does not do that. And jafem has a little bit of worse Tender Slimer than he did in race 1, but it actually ended up fairly okay. Mr. Gemia. Well, actually, as far as I know, we always finish the races, but I guess if we have to cut a race short, that would not be up to me to decide. We have a restreamer from Speed Gaming in the background. Today that's Feasel, and Feasel will know. Look, we have a schedule to keep up to because, you know, the ALTTP randomizer is coming up later, or this or that is gonna have to be streamed after this. And sure, I guess we can go overtime, but if we go like way beyond overtime, then I suppose we might be cutting it short to say, look, the other tournament also has to go, and you know, we're really going to extreme limits here, then I do believe we will cut it off. But well, like, honestly, if you go 10 minutes over time and into 20%, like generally, I suppose we expect runners to end somewhere between 35 to 40 minutes for most people, and perhaps below 35 when you look at the higher seeded people on average. But I mean, if you would say like, oh look, this guy already game overed like 6 times on Final Sigma, and you know, the races are over, but I guess at that point the runner themselves might even say, look, I don't want to keep having people watch me try this because this is ridiculous. jafem there with a lot of lag. But I guess a lot would depend on the schedule. Let's say that Speed Gaming would not have something scheduled for the next 2 hours. We would not have a reason to cut anyone off from finishing the run. So I guess that would be the biggest factor in the end. Also, yeah, a game over is not actually a stop. Like, if you game over in this game, you just go back to the start of the stage. So you get some new lives and whatnot, but you always get to finish the game. Okay, if you meant that with a game over, then yeah, okay. Sorry, then I guess I didn't get that right. I mean, otherwise it would be pretty hard to decide a winner too, because what if both players game over, then you just look at who gets the furthest or something? That seems a little bit weird. If you game over, you go back to the start of the stage where you were at. So if you die to Final Sigma, you go back to the stage of Final Sigma. You don't go back to the intro or back to the start of the Sigma Fortress. I know some people think that when you game over somewhere in the Sigma Fortress that you go back to Sigma 1. But if you game over on Sigma 3, you will still be in Sigma 3. That's the idea. Oh, ShadowZero has evolved. He, though, no longer needs to cut off Mammoth's trunk to kill him. Great. It's really good. We see both players celebrating a victory. Jafem celebrating his victory over Dillo, and ShadowZero celebrating victory over Mammoth. Meaning that we are 2 Mavericks apart. ShadowZero will be going to Mandrill, and Jafem will be going to Octopus. Alright. Sorry I didn't explain that so well, but I guess I didn't quite get what you were trying to ask me. I didn't know you meant a game over, as in, does a game over mean that you need to stop? I think there are actually games in which that is a thing, but only under certain circumstances, I guess. I thought Super Metroid. Oh gosh, Jafem, those spikes. I thought Super Metroid is one of those games where you don't save during a speedrun and that you would have to go all the way back to the start of a game. So, generally speaking, if you would game over in that one very late into the game, it would be probably that you just stop playing. But you know. Yeah, and there is. Yeah, but soft locking and going back to Sigma 1 only happens at Sigma 1, so. So, there's. Oh, okay, pretty nice Thunder Slime there for ShadowZero, and Jafem on this final Maverick. Let's see how he goes with Octo. We do have a huge difference between the 2 runners here, PK Sandman. It's a little bit unfortunate because, you know, I kind of want to put some good working on commentating the race, but sadly, you know, it's really hard to see ShadowZero come back from this, to be very honest. I don't want to be negative, or I don't want to early call it, but a 5-minute difference by the time you reach 20 minutes, just, it's huge. Yeah, also because we've seen ShadowZero complain about his controller. Yeah, that makes it even more unbelievable. But, you know, we'll have to see. Jafem now gets a little bit confused. Probably thought I was playing 100% and want to go pick up the Hadouken. Perhaps that wouldn't even be a bad idea to pick up some extra items. Allow ShadowZero to get a little bit back. Would be pretty cool, but he's not going to do that. And Mandrill now getting taken by... Ooh, it's Jafem. Ooh, almost died to the leap of fate. Having some issues with those flyers, though. Oh, he skips through. He'll be just fine. And 3 HP means he's in good shape to go for the Vile skip. Yeah, ShadowZero finishes off Mandrill. And now gets on his way to Armadillo. Game crashes in Sigma 4. Is there a game crash in Sigma 4? I don't remember that one. Must be really rare. Although I vaguely remember, I think that may have happened to you specifically. Oh, and there we see black 0 on your screen. It can happen sometimes under certain circumstances that Zero's image stays there. And it will actually get overwritten by a Vile's portrait right here. People say it's kind of cool because Vile can now watch himself die in a hole or something like that. Staring at his own death. Taking a couple hits from Vile. It's quite a lot of damage, but thanks to the body armor, it's not too bad. Zero now fading away. You know, actually, in most situations like this in games where like another character dies, like, yeah, you can do it, I believe in you. This is actually a little bit of a pretty crappy one, because if you actually play on the English version of this game, Zero, rather than really giving you hope to go beat bosses, he's like, oh dang, you're actually stronger than I thought. So he like completely underestimates you, and he's like so surprised, like, oh wow, you're actually that strong. And then he's like, maybe you can do it. So rather than saying, I have faith, you're gonna do this, like, maybe? Maybe? I don't know. So much for support. Oh. So Dilla going down, and jafem having a little bit of issues with Koanger there. Got a couple bonks in. That squared sign, there is a cutscene skip. Not really a cutscene skip, but you can skip one of the text boxes. So they kind of have two text boxes playing at once. And that can sometimes leave one of the portraits up there. jafem farming some HP before a bow spider. We did see him struggle with this fight in race number 1, so we'll have to see if he has a better fight this time around. Doesn't even make him seem like he's dying. I don't remember it that well. I know that it doesn't really seem very supportive what he says though. Okay, jafem has a good start to the fight this time. Oh. Made all the right movement, but forgot to release his shot. Oh, oh. Oh, okay, so jafem really does not like Spider. If there is anything we've learned in these two races, it's probably that. Also, baby spiders are pretty hard to deal with. It's a little bit strange to see what jafem is doing sometimes, because he actually rather often gets the right movement to hit Spider, but then he just like doesn't let go of the shot. However, he does have a better time than his last fight in race number 1. He did not have to sub tank this time, and got less babies and whatnot, so. Oh, ShadowZero. Narrowly missing that first chop, not a big deal. jafem on a Sig 2 now. Biggest RNG stage in the game, honestly. The 3 bosses you face here are all quite RNG dependent. If you speedrun this game and you have a small chance at a PB, this stage can either enhance it or completely break it apart. You see a lot of runners here that do not have optimal gold splits, mostly because of execution-wise it's not always that easy, and even more than that, I think no one has the perfect gold for this split, since, you know, slides and dives, slides and... oh, jafem's out of ammo. Imagine that. I guess another slide to go. Oh well. The current world record in any percent would be 31-13 by Akiterio. Akiterio is also in the tournament, so you see him around. And finally, ShadowZero gets himself to the Sigma stages a little bit later than jafem. Does not go for Leap of Faith. Ooh, that takes a little bonk there. No big deal, that flyer will leave him alone. Can now get all the way up to the entrance. Oh, a life, take it! Yeah, okay, good. You know, at this point for ShadowZero, it's nice to have a couple extra lives. He doesn't want to like fall without lives. Not in the Sigma stages, because if you die really late in the stage here, it will cost you a lot of time. And, well, considering he's already had not a so great start to this. Oh, well, he gets the gutsy with Zero and Vile, so we will not be seeing the Vile skip on ShadowZero's side. That is unfortunate. On your left, we see jafem dealing with the RNG of Rangda. Oop. That should be a pretty easy finish. Ooh! If he had shot that Ragnar on his iframe still there, he could have just died. For a second I saw it happening. No, this is the second round of the best of 3, and there will be another right after this one with ShadowZero and 2-stop. Now, I may have to add that that race too could be fairly interesting. 2-stop, also a man of many disasters if he's having a bad day. We have seen that man game over to Mandrill in the previous tournament match, so perhaps this misfortune can match the misfortune of ShadowZero and the man with the broken controller. We'll just have to see how that turns out. And then we can get some nice races going there. Oh, nice shot there from jafem, finishing up Dillo. Now, we do have to say that you don't really want to fight Dillo, but unfortunately, jafem missed the skip. Second time in a row now. Luckily, ShadowZero is still in Sigma 1, so not very close behind him, because that fight, getting the Dillo fight, actually really drops a lot of time. It can get even worse because, you know, if you have a close race and you miss the skip and then Dillo gives you one of the few times where he wants to go and roll for like literally 20 seconds, and you might think, what, 20 seconds? Yes, it's possible. Dillo is the only boss that can... Okay, jafem having a bit of an... jafem! Hello, jafem. Someone slapped this man. What's going on? Alright, he's got him. Dillo actually one of the few bosses that can have an infinite amount of rolls and bad RNG. He's actually potentially worse than Eagle and Penguin together. Alright, jafem now up against Mandrill and ShadowZero with Spider. Both have the same weakness, so we get to see them in synchronized outfits. Matching outfits for our two runners. How cool is that? It's like they planned this out. Although I suppose they planned it out to be on the same balls at the same time, just... ShadowZero did not stick to the plan! God dang it. You got one job, ShadowZero. Oh gosh, that's so many spiders. 6 oh my gosh. Oh. Jesus, what is this? Ooh, ShadowZero with a nice reflex there to get out. I have to say that even though ShadowZero's got quite some mishaps, I'm fairly impressed at the way that he deals with some of these spider patterns and how he dodges and dives out at the last second sometimes. Probably should have said nothing because then he misses 2 shots like right after 3. Why do I talk? Alright, ShadowZero takes down Bow Spider. Good job, my boy. So, jafem meanwhile will be going on to Mammoth already, which is nearly the end of Sigma 3. Getting a pretty decent time for his races. Alright, Mammoth going down, jafem slides to the left. Not a big deal, really. Oh gosh, ShadowZero. So the thing is about moving platforms in this game that if you're not moving for an entirety of 6 frames already and then you dash, the game just decides that the platform is going to eat your dash input. And, well, that's that basically. jafem. jafem. Ooh, close call there. Needs to use a sub tank. He's really close to dying. So now he has no sub tank going into Sigma 4, but we saw him farm up at the start of Sig 4 last time. So ShadowZero with the fire wave strats! Fire wave! Spam it in the chat. Fire wave! Meanwhile, jafem farming with rolling shield. That has a bit of time before ShadowZero catches up, so... And ShadowZero could remove his rolling shield by hitting that one enemy on the left, but he can also just menu that rolling shield away, so... 7 minutes difference, 8 minutes difference. I'm not really timing it. We can see that there is a big difference between the two right now, and I don't really want to time it. It's a little bit, well, sad. The exact time, I believe, does not really matter at this point. Wire fave. Wee. So jafem is still farming. I think ShadowZero is on like half of the Sigma 2 stage in the time that that jafem has been farming. I bet he maxed out like 10 sub tanks by now instead of the 2 that he actually has. Right, ShadowZero gets a green eye, gets another green eye. Oh, really? The man's already a long way behind, and then Rangdag is in 2 green eyes and closes the walls on. Wow. And jafem has a pretty good dogfight this time around. Base 1 had a bit of issues with that, but... Nice. ShadowZero gets a pretty good ending to Rangdag though. Gets this pretty smooth kill. And meanwhile, jafem on his way to the end of the race. Maybe. Could still die though. Don't be mistaken. Probably not the Jedi, but you know. Maybe the Wolf Sigma, maybe. And on your right, ShadowZero getting into Sigma 3. Oh, jafem accidentally hitting Jedi there on the right. Drops down, shoots a final spark in his face. ShadowZero needs to... Oh, yeah, you're fine, you're fine. Drop that sled. Alright, gets the skip. Took his time on it, but you know, rather take your time and get through than miss it, right? Ooh. Ooh, jafem, 1 HP. You have 2 sub tanks, you can't lose. Wow. Alright. That puts him back at full, so he should have no issues finishing this up. And he finishes with an official SRL race ball time of 38:41, just as ShadowZero kills off Chameleon. No, that is not where my name is from. ShadowZero now moves to the end of the game. Still has to do a couple bosses in Sigma 3, beat down Rangda. Oh. Gets a little punch in the face before he gets to go to the final, to the next boss. Did he use the 2000 side punch? I'm pretty sure that could be about the strength of Mandrel punch, yeah. ShadowZero with the Buster strats. Little fun fact about these fishes that eat you. If you play 100% you get eaten by these fish, you can actually fire a Hadoken from inside of them and just implode them. Alright, Octo with some very kind RNG here. Just sits there on the bottom. Wow, that is a fight of dreams right there. No, ShadowZero moving on to the laggy hallway. Oh. And there we go. Goes on to Mammoth. I'm not entirely sure where A Link to the Past will be hosted, but I do believe that ShadowZero has another match right after this one. I hope I didn't get the wrong. Oh, I think I got the wrong command. Oops. Oh, the bot is that. Wait, I have the schedule of speed gaming here somewhere for you guys. Meanwhile, we see ShadowZero taking down DRX, or the other way around. We don't know yet until it's over. But it looks like it's gonna be ShadowZero coming out on top of this one. Oh, DRX pretty hungry. Ah! Oh my God, that was so close. Jeez. Whew, good job, ShadowZero, getting out of that one. Fooled me, thought he was dead. Meanwhile, where is this freaking schedule? Is this weird? Oh, there it is, right here. Speed gaming schedule. I got it. I got it, you guys. Oh, Feasel already had it too. Well, thank you, Feasel. I must be the slowest commentator on Earth. So we have a moment. ShadowZero will be playing Farming Simulator. Do follow up a sub, thanks. Someone please clip that. All you have to do is press one button. Do it yourself. Can't expect these runners to do everything. Well, I mean, they already have to do almost everything. It does look though as if Mega Man X will be on for a little bit longer here. Because this is the first out of 2 races, and after that there will be LTTP randomizer, and the one that starts soonish will, I think, if I can properly read this, be Speed Gaming 3. I'm not really sure how the color coding on that schedule is. You have a little bit of time to clip stuff. I think it's like a half minute, maybe a bit longer. Oh, ShadowZero, please, you risk taker. Swear. Oh boy. He apparently likes to farm for HP, but and sub tanks, but he still does not get full sub tanks. Well, okay. Alright, ShadowZero going into Final Sigma, still as a sub tank. See, he will probably opt into using it straight away. Yeah, look, goes and does that. Waits a second. Waits a second too long, actually. Oh. Gonna ride the other claw now. Alright, he got out there. Ooh. We did see last time around that ShadowZero is pretty alright with this final fight once he gets up on the claw, but he is a little bit nervous about getting up on that final claw. Alright, and there we go. He finishes with an official race bot time of 45:17. Alright, that is really, really great. And that finishes the first set of races for ShadowZero today. He was doing the final matches of the group stages. There's one more match to go and then the group stages are officially done. If you want to find out who is actually going to brackets, just check out the links here at the !MMX. Just go to the challenge. If you want to follow these runners, they did put on quite a show for you. Then please do so. If you're liking people rambling about, I don't know, me. Right. So let me see if I can get both of our runners in here for a little talk. Let's see. They feel like that. ShadowZero does have another race coming up, so I don't know if he maybe wants to sit out, yes or no. jafem probably has been already sitting around for a little bit, so I hope he's paying attention to chat.
Hey, bud.
What? Who moved you in here? Holy crap. Hello, ShadowZero. You know, actually, if I have to be really honest, I don't want to talk to you. Buy a new controller. What was that?
I know, man. This controller has had various issues at this point. Yeah, I think I need to get a new one. This one certainly has run its course. But yeah, there was a lot of moments where I was just like, do I want to keep going?
Well,
but I kept it.
If you want my perspective, perhaps it's not the most exciting as far as the race goes, because, you know, it's pretty hard to set up a match when you're running into a lot of issues with your controller. But I do have to say, on the other side, I think the value of entertainment just skyrocketed through the roof. Although sometimes I really kind of wanted to slap someone around, to be fair. Yeah, because I didn't really understand some of the risks that you took, knowing that your controller is not really having a good time. Like, you died in both races to the elevator in Kuanger, and I thought the first time, oh well, dang, that just happened, and I see you complain about your controller, and you go up in the second race, and I'm like, oh well, he probably will be a bit more careful to make sure he has no issues, and then you die again. I'm like, oh gosh, really? Why take the risk? But you know,
yeah, there was not only was it controller problems. I had problems with my capture card as well. My capture card would randomly make the feed on my TV just like disappear. So for like a minute, I'd be. That's why at times I would stop, because you guys would see me stop. My feed on my TV would just disappear, and I'm like, so what? Now I gotta put out the capture card now? I mean, certainly that's not gonna work very well.
Okay, well, I don't even know. Also, meanwhile, jafem has reported back that he will not be doing an interview as he has to go to sleep. He is from Europe. I believe he's in the same time zone as me, which is it's 2 o'clock at night here. He might even be an hour later for him. So yeah. But yeah, I don't know. I kind of wanted to ask you about him because I have to say, jafem had his own set of issues there. Perhaps not all hardware related. Yeah.
The beginning, the practice ROM.
Yeah, the practice ROM where he came up like, oh crap, this is not the right ROM. Oh crap.
For a minute there, I was just like, oh, maybe, because I saw him on the start screen, and I was like, oh, maybe he's ready now. So I'm over here. I ready up. He's readied up, and I'm like, okay, I guess it's time to do it.
Yeah.
But then the next second I know, I'm already like mashing through about 14 seconds in, and all I hear is, no.
I'm not ready. It's the wrong ROM. Yeah, that was. Yeah, and also he had some actual issues here and there in this run as well. Like he did. Yeah, even with some of your hardware issues, I have to say that you did a much better job on Bow Spider compared to jafem. You did apparently not feel very comfortable around spiders. Perhaps he has a fear of them, but he had some issues with it.
Yeah.
Reading the patterns, often bonking. So I actually kind of thought that maybe you could catch up if he had some more crucial mistakes, but he kind of clutched it out if he had issues with something. In race 1, he nearly died to Bow Spider, but on his final shot where he had 2 HP left, he killed Spider after burning his sub-tank as well.
Jeez.
And I was actually thinking if he died there that he would have a lot of issues getting through that fight with Buster only. But that did not happen, so unfortunately your struggle did not manage to pull you back.
Yeah, my struggle didn't. If it makes it more certain at least, or more if it makes it a lot more better, at least I warmed up, and at least I got into the game again and started realizing, oh wait, this works with this now, and this goes with that. Cause
yeah, actually, maybe a little question for you until your other race gets going, because I believe that's fairly soon.
Yeah.
How long have you been playing this game? Because I see that you do not seem to use the most optimal strats in a lot of points, where I feel like, he seems a bit off from even the normal strats here and there.
For X any percent, it's literally been this last month and November. For the entirety of the game, I was in the last tournament for 100%. So.
And have you played a lot in between?
Yeah, I've played a lot in between, more consistently 100%, because that's the one that I know the most, and.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so it's been there. I don't know most of the most optimal X any percent strats. It's been kind of more of combining everything that a couple of my buds have been telling me what strats work and what strats don't work and stuff like that. But
oh yeah, I was just a little bit confused here and there. I believe that when you got into the Mandrill stage, I saw you do the first hallway and you didn't use the tornado, and I thought to myself, that's kind of the standard for most people, but I often saw you grab 2 weapons that seemed really odd of a pick. But, you know, at the same time, I thought, you know, whatever works. When I started this game, I did Fire Wave there, so I'm not going to judge.
What happened there was, again, controller kept disconnecting, and at the same time, I was just like, you know what, screw it, let's go Buster. I totally can't do Zam Hallway, but, you know, I'll do Buster, I guess. I'll just go with it, I guess.
Well, I mean, considering the things that have happened in your race, I suppose you didn't really have to worry about much.
I'm still, okay, like, I'm still mad about, come on, I died on Penguin, okay? I'm a little too salty about that right there, because I was just like, did this just happen?
You shouldn't have told everyone that, because, you know, in the next interview, I bet Walrus will ask you, like, remember that time you died to Penguin? Oh, sorry, that was the other race.
Yeah. But, you know, it's the best that I made the best what I could do. I mean, what was I like? What 3, 4, 5 minutes behind?
I think 7 minutes in race number 2, and I think it was probably around there as well for race number 1. So it was a pretty big gap between the two of you.
Yeah, so 7 minutes behind. I mean, with 2 deaths, I mean that's not too bad. I'm not gonna consider it completely horribly. But
it could have gone even worse. You were right.
Yeah.
Now, let me take a little look, because you have another race coming up soon against 2Stop. So the good thing for you is that I already mentioned this to everyone else, that 2Stop also is a master of disaster. I think he's the only person I've ever seen taking a game over to Mandaryl. So perhaps this.
Wait, what? No way.
Yeah, it happened. So how does that make you feel about your chances versus 2Stop?
No. I'm letting you know this right now. That man is going to beat me. He's going to make me look like my skill level has been increased to a dog. So, I look forward to his race. I mean, I know he's gonna absolutely demolish me, but hey, I'm just doing it for races really, and just for the tournament because it's fun.
Yeah, that's true. It's all got to be.
And don't make. And the one thing that kept me going during the whole first 2 rounds in this match was the chat. The chat asking, "Hey Drago, what's your favorite Disney princess?" or that those type of comments kept me going because I kept laughing at them because I was just like, what kind of questions are these? But at the same time, I'm like, what's Drago gonna answer back with?
I was pretty confused at that one, and now that I think of it, I still haven't answered because I was thinking like, gosh, what do I even remember from being a kid and watching these? But I guess if I had to give an answer after these 2 races, I suppose let's go with Elsa from Frozen. She's pretty cute.
Okay, respectful.
So that guy's still there who asked me that. Enjoy your answer.
But yeah, I'm not very sure where 2Stop is at the moment.
Yeah, I do believe that your next match is scheduled in just a few minutes, and I see I have my replacement commentator already in line. Wallace will be taking over for me because I have work in the morning and it's 2 AM here.
Oh no, dude, I don't blame you.
The ShadowZero's favorite. Oh, look.
What's my favorite princess?
Yeah.
I gotta think about that one.
You have another 2 races for that one.
I'd say Cinderella, maybe? I don't know. I'll go with Cinderella for right now. If I can think of anything else, something will switch in my head. But you know, that's all.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. I look forward to racing 2Stop. Even though I'm gonna get obliterated, but cool.
Yeah, I'm just gonna take a look where your competitor and the new commentator is for this. I believe Walrus is already around as he has entered SRL chat, but I'm not sure where 2Stop is.
Where is this boy?
Alright, I see Double Stop is around. Alright, okay. 2Stop had a little bit of a console issue, but he will be right there. Which means that your next race will be going soon. And we will have Auras in here pretty soon, picking up on commentary. So
Alrighty.
if you want, you can probably go and get some last minute practice in while 2Stop gets ready. Show that man that a broken controller will not stop you.
Alrighty, thanks for having me, guys.
Alright, good luck in the next race.
Thank you. And take care.
Thank you.